Maybe I did it. Okay, so hey folks, it's been a minute since my last update, so we're feeling a little better. I figured I would jump on here. This has not been a jump. It has taken me all day to even get ready to do this video. We've been getting prepared in stages, and we still took shortcuts. I didn't pull out no lights and none of that. Um, we bare bones in it right now. So, figured I would give you an update. It's been over 6 months since me being diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. And I am happy to report that as of my surgery date, which was December the 18th, 2020, I believe they have removed the last of the cancer from my body, and I am now cancer free. Thank you, Jesus. Won't he do it? Didn't he do it? Yes, he did. I'm excited about that. So, I entered this journey knowing that God is a healer, that he was faithful, that he would surround me with people to make it happen, and they did. But through it all, he has been faithful, and I've trusted him completely, knowing that this sickness was not unto death, knowing that we will come out on the other side, trusting and believing that whichever route he took, that I would be well. And so I thank God that he's proven himself faithful to do that. Although the chemo did shrink the tumor in my left breast, once they took it out and tested it, it was still cancerous. And same with the lymph nodes, although it shrunk where it wasn't visible in the mammogram. Once they took the lymph node out and tested it, there was still cancer there. And so I believe, based on the pathology reports that they've gone over with me, and the margins that were removed, etc., I believe they got it all. And I am a testimony of the faithfulness and goodness of God, and that in what he can do and what he has done. So I told y'all we would see the other side of this. I wish that I was completely done and we didn't have anything else to do, but there's still plenty more to do on my road to full recovery and jazziness and whatever that is, right? So there is still radiation that will start after the healing that has to take place in my boobs. And just so you know, this may be too TMI for my brothers, but I'll share it anyway. There are stitches from under my arm, across my boob here, all the way across back over here. I'm stitched up completely here, and then up both my boobs and around both my nipples. There are stitches all across here, across my whole chest. And so that was not a good feeling. Have you ever been in so much pain it steals your words? Like, people were calling and texting and trying to check on me and see how I was doing. I didn't have no words, honey. All I could do was sit there and quietly think about how bad that hurt. So thank you for your calls. Thank you for your text messages. Thank you for trying to see, how things were going. But it was not a good look. If I came out the room, I came out of the room to sit in one spot, and we still didn't have a whole bunch to say. It takes you, it did. I didn't have words. It was amazing. I laughed because even when I was in the hospital, the nurses kept pointing me to, this is your remote for your TV. This is your TV remote. This is your TV. And a few of them even came in and pushed the button, turned the TV on for me. And I'm like, I don't want no noise. I don't want to hear people talking. Just be quiet. Hush. Let me just think about the situation that I find myself in and how bad this hurts. That's kind of where we were at that time. So we're doing better. I saw everybody that there was to see this week. I met with the surgeon. I met with the plastic surgeon. I met with the oncologist, and today I even talked to the radiation oncologist, who will start, the additional procedures after we a little bit more healed here. I think there is another mammogram that we have to do. They tried it. he started talking about a mammogram today. I was like, we not about to do that. Not right now. Um, but once we get a little bit further down the road, there's another mammogram that has to happen. There is radiation that has to take place. I think there are about 30 treatments that I have to go to every day for the next month or so once we get started with that. And then there is some hormone therapy that I'll be taking for the next few years to ensure that it doesn't come back. And so we'll be working to do that and be working on getting healthy and whole. One of the things that I'm fully expecting, hasn't happened yet, is for my neuropathy to subside. It is getting progressively worse, but we believe in God that that is not going to continue. But it has traveled from my fingertips down into my hand and from my toes back into my feet. And so we are, praying to the Lord of the harvest that that goes away. Additionally, we have a bunch of weight that we put on that we need to get back off. Most importantly, so I'm not shaped like an egg. Now that my boobs are smaller, we don't want to have an egg shape. We're not trying to do that, looking like Humpty Dumpty. That's not what we're about to do. So when I look down, I can actually see stomach. Before, when I looked down, all I saw was boobs, but I can see stomach, and we're not about to do that. So we have weight to get off. We have eyebrows to grow. Before, it was only one. I put these glasses on trying to hide the fact that there is no eyebrows on either side at this point. We don't have any eyelashes. Hair is growing back. It's growing funny though. I would show it to you, but I'm not ready. So I got hair on both of these sides, and it's gray. It's gray and it's straight hair on both of these sides. I think there's some in the back, but this is still relatively, it's coming out, but it's really short. So it's long enough to flatten here, but this is like almost bald, like a bald fade up here. So we're not about to show you that just yet. We'll take you on the hair journey once we get hair in all the places and not just on the sides. So it's still a long way to go. We have about I want to say 2 or 3 more months before we're done with treatments and that stuff. But I'm super excited to be able to share with you that there is no more cancer. So that's the best thing and the best news of it all. I thank you to Tara. I saw you started the meal train again. Thank you for that. I'm still at my folks' house for the next couple of days. But when I go home, that is going to be real helpful because I just can't see myself doing a whole bunch of cooking. Not right now, still. Part of the side effects, even with the radiation, they tell me is fatigue and some of the other things, and I still haven't recovered full strength from the chemo and some of that. So thank you for those. I've already seen a couple donations to the meal train. Thank you, Tara, for starting it up, and thank you for those who've donated to it, so that I can order food when I get hungry instead of having to try to prepare meals. And for those of you who are interested in that, I'll put the link there. But thank you also to Elder and Sister Huff, who sent flowers to my team, my support team at work, who sent me a bunch of different things, from warm fuzzy socks to blankets and that kind of stuff, candles. Thank you to all of you guys, my manager, who sent a thank you gift to me, and just different people who've sent things, who've prayed, who've called, who've texted, asked if I needed anything, and that kind of stuff. To my sister, who has kind of hung with me through all of it. Like, she has taken me to very nearly every appointment. She has sat outside. I think we had to, on the day of the surgery, we had to be at the hospital at like 7 a.m. She was there till just about 7 p.m. I think I started when I got in there at 7 a.m. They had to do the localizers where they actually stuck wires. Listen, that procedure was a mess. They took these needles and stuck them in they did a mammogram, right? And then they found where the lump was. And then they were trying to put wires in there to point to, this is where the tumor is. So they actually took needles and, looking at the mammogram, had to find the spot, and then the needles were hollow, so they put wires in through the needles. And at the point where we finished that procedure, I had wires hanging out of my boob, so that X marked the spot when they got ready to go in and do surgery. Also, another thing is, because where the lump was positioned, directly behind my left nipple, they had to remove the nipple to remove the tumor, and then they had to wait to see if it would graft back on. So it looks good where they've grafted. It was just sitting up there at first, but it looks to be grafting back into, that process is going to work. The alternative would be where they would have to make me one or something of that effect, a tattoo or whatever that process was going to be. So luckily, or thank God that the skin graft worked and is working. And so that was something. But I was there from 7 in the morning on that day till, I didn't even wake up till 7:30 that night. And she was there till 6:30, just hanging out, talking to the surgeons, trying to make sure everything went okay. She's taking me to every appointment, whether, when they locked everything back down, she couldn't go in with me. So a lot of times she just took me and sat in the car till I came back out. And so thank you. I appreciate that. Making sure I have medicine and, feed me and all of that stuff. And so that has been much appreciated. What else do I need to tell you? I don't know. I think I'm done. I expected this to be a longer video because it's been a while. But I guess I'm done. I tell you, when you don't have no words, there's no words left. But one of the things that dealing with people, a lot of times people just want to hear that you're okay, and I am okay. There is still a ways to go on my road to complete recovery, but we're going to continue to push through. My Pastor Mike, asked me yesterday, you still holding on, you still pushing? I'm like, pushing might be a stretch, but we're getting there, right? You get tired, you get frustrated, you're hurting, and it don't feel good. And so, there's been times where I didn't have a push. We just trying to make it. And so eventually we'll push again. We're going to have to push when after healing starts to take place and we hit this stride to get some of this weight off, because that is also going to keep me from or keep cancer from coming back, is for me to actually lose weight. And so that is going to be a real push for me as well. And Dr. J had the nerve to, the same doctor oncologist who I was complaining to about the steroids and how much weight I was gaining, he gonna tell me this week, oh, you need to get some of this weight off. Really? Really? Thank you. So that was the deal for that. So I already have my 2020 bullet journal, my journal here. And so we are making plans. Purpose doesn't stop just because, your body is ailing. And so we've already been making plans for 2021 for what that's going to look like for me, and conversations of women. And I don't know if you guys knew that a few years ago I had plans to foster, and through circumstances and a bunch of things have happened over the last few years that have put those plans on hold, but we intend to get back to that in 2021. And maybe I'll take you on that journey with me as well. But it's a lot of things that we have to do. Plans of God and purpose and kingdom work and none of that thing stops because our body is ailing. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful that the end is near of this whole thing. I'm thankful that I'm cancer free. I'm thankful that we're on the road to complete recovery. I'm thankful that eventually one day I'll have eyebrows and eyelashes again, and hair, and neuropathy will stop, and weight will come off, and all the things. I'm grateful for all the things, and I'm thankful for all of you who showed up for me in this process. It's been very eye-opening, sobering. I feel different than I thought I would, but I'm sober, if that makes sense. So, and I'm very grateful and thankful to God for all that He has done. So that is this video. If you have advice for neuropathy that has traveled and is all the way here, it feels like my hand, like I burned it, and that it's burning all through here. If you have, advice for how to get rid of that, I started taking magnesium, which is good for nerves and surgery, after surgery. And I'm taking vitamin B6 because that also is said to help with neuropathy. But if you have anything else, any other something that I should try, I'm willing to do that, just so we can get through this easier. So keep me in your prayers. I'll keep you in mind. And to all of you that are still struggling and waiting for your change to come, it will come. I am a witness that God is a healer and that He can do it. He's no respecter of person. He's done it for me, and He can and will do it for you as well. Talk to you later.